Christopher Columbus may have sailed the ocean blue in 1492, but who was this man before setting sail? What was his life like leading up to the great discovery? My presentation will be on his life and the story of Christopher Columbus beyond the ocean blue. Christopher Columbus was born in 1451 in the Republic of Genoa to Domenico Colombo and Susanna Fontanarosa. He had 4 siblings, 3 brothers named Bartholomew, Giovanni, and Giacomo. He had 1 sister named Bianchinetta. He was born the son of a wool and weaver merchant and about middle class on the social scale. He worked for a very short time under the wing of his father, learning the trade and making and selling wool. He soon left home and the wool trade to answer the calling of the ocean. Columbus started off his young life already on the sea. At just 19, he joined the crew of a ship and may have become a pirate. Though it's unclear what exactly his intentions were aboard the ship, it is known the crew was attacking ships belonging to the Moors. There are those, though, who believe he was simply working on a merchant ship that happened to work in the area of these attacks on the Moors. Others argue, though, he was a privateer, serving under government orders to attack the Moors. Whether Columbus was a pirate, a privateer, or a merchant, this job gave him his head start and helped him shape his life on the ocean. Though his time spent as a pirate is a little unclear, it is known that in 1476 he was aboard a ship named the Genosis. The Genosis was part of a convoy of 5 ships making their way to Lisbon. The noble families of Spinola and de Negro had set up a trading route that would lead down the Strait of Gibraltar and enter into the Atlantic Ocean. During this convoy, the ships came under attack by French pirates. With the Genosis sinking, Columbus abandoned ship and was able to make his way to the shore by using wreckage to float on. On the shore of Portugal, Columbus was able to watch the ships sink. There is an alternate theory, though, to how the Battle of Portugal played out. Some scholars believe that Columbus was actually aboard the attacking French ship. It is known that during the battle, both sides took heavy damage and lost ships. Columbus very well could have been on either side of the battle. The second part of this theory has to do with the leader of the French attacking ship, whose name was Guillaume Casanova Colon. Last name could have also been Colombo or Colum. It is believed that Columbus took this man's name as his own surname. It was thought that by changing his last name he could conceal his history as a pirate. The concealment of his past piracy would come in handy later in life as he moved up in social class. After his survival of the battle, Columbus made his way to Lisbon. In Lisbon he joined his brother Bartholomew, and together they made their wages as cartographers. On a side note, a cartographer is a map maker. Today we use satellites to show terrain and elevations, but in Columbus's time it was all done by hand, and the man with the most experience usually made better maps. Columbus was thought to be very skilled and talented at this particular job, and as far as history can tell, him and his brother did very well while in business together. As he settled down in Lisbon with his brother and new career, Columbus also decided to settle down at home and marry. He married a noblewoman named Philippa Perestroli Monez. Marrying into this noble family elevated Columbus's social class. In 1480, Columbus and his wife bore a son named Diego. After just a short marriage, Philippa passed away. The believed cause of death is consumption, or what we call today tuberculosis. We assume, but history is not clear, he and his son, after the death of his wife, moved to Spain, where he opened another map shop. Felipe's father had also been a man of the sea, and was even known for discovering the Madria Islands. At the time of his death, he left his daughter all the maps he had made on all of his voyages. Felipe gives these maps and charts to Columbus, and they contain the winds and currents in the Portuguese and the Atlantic. This is a turning point for Columbus, as he now starts mapping a trade course. He is searching for the trade route to the Indies. After moving to Spain, Columbus settles down once again, marrying a Spanish woman named Donna Beatriz Enriquez. Together they have one son named Fernando. Columbus is now trying to petition the king and queen to fund his voyage looking for the trade route to the Indies, but he is refused many times. Finally, he receives help from a priest named Father Perez. The father pleads with the king and queen, explaining that the voyage could result in conversions for the church. It is important to note a personality trait about Columbus at this point, because Columbus is a very religious man. He really believed in the Word of God and spreading it to foreign regions of the earth. So Columbus vows to the king and queen that he would convert heathen races of Christianity while continuing his explorations. Columbus did have a clash with the crown during his settlements of the new colonies. Columbus wanted to bring back to Spain some of the natives of the new settlements. He wanted to use them to trade and sell as slaves. The king and queen would not allow this, though. Columbus did not do as he was told, though, and brought over the slaves anyways. Between the bringing of the slaves and rumors of how poorly Columbus was able to govern one of his settlements, a man by the name of Francisco de Bablia was sent to investigate what was going on. Francisco was given very high authority by the king and queen and could do what he saw was fit for the settlement. What Francisco saw was fit was the imprisonment of Columbus and his brothers. It was later found out that he and his brothers had been starved and beaten, among other things, during the time of their imprisonment. Due to the harsh treatment, charges were dropped and Columbus was even given his titles back. On May 20th, 1506, Christopher Columbus dies in the Spanish court. Little is known about how he died, though it is thought to be of an illness. Columbus was the first European to explore the Americas since the Vikings. He died and did not get to see that his discoveries and accomplishments led Europe to being one of the wealthiest and most powerful nations in the years to come.